live.
Well, it is episode 103, and we are live. Jonathan, Martin, my co-host.
Sorry, what? Are we live?
Yes, literally. Meredith, is that not what I just said?
Sorry, I was checking into Twitter.
Were you?
Have you heard of this?
No.
So Twitter is a service that is run by, it's run by Twitter.
I thought you were going to say Google, but continue.
No, Twitter is a service that is run by Twitter. It is an eponymous product. And
Linked horse?
And you can tweet on it like a bird does. You know how birds, when they tweet, they're short? Like it's a short tweet?
Uh-huh.
So you can do that on the internet with Twitter by Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, what?
So I was checking into Twitter.
You don't... Okay, you can't...
Yeah, no, I checked in. I gained experience points.
Check into Twitter.
No, I gained experience points.
You don't... That's not the right app. Oh, God. Oh, God. You meant...
No, it said I earned a Twitter badge.
No, you didn't.
No, it said I earned a badge on Twitter. You can look at it right now.
There are no Twitter badges.
Somebody gave me a badge.
Meredith, did you give Jon a badge?
Yeah.
That was where my badge came from.
Well, I hate both of you. How's that?
Hey, we've got a guest, and you should introduce them. Like, don't be such an ass.
Hey, them
yeah.
is...
I don't even know if this is happening.
All right. First of all, them is plural. What you meant to say is I should introduce her. Second of all, I have to get my notepad out because you're fucking swearing on my podcast, which I now have to bleep out. Hang on.
I was using the royal them.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, it's like what they use in royalty.
Uh-huh.
They use it in royalty in Europe.
Uh-huh. I was not aware that Meredith was royalty, but thank you for joining us, Your Majesty.
I am definitely royalty.
Your Highness?
Sure. Khaleesi.
Great. This is Khaleesi. This is Meredith Targaryen, expert on dragons.
Mm-hmm.
She joins us to talk about dragons and perhaps the age of dragons, or perhaps
the Dragon Age.
Yes.
So I thought there were only 3 Targaryens left. I thought that was it. I thought there's like 3. There's 3.
How does that work?
You're gonna die. I'm sorry, but you're probably gonna die.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not, Hodor, I'm okay.
Hodor. Are we going to see DJ Hodor? I think he's coming to Chicago.
Yes, I thought you were getting us tickets.
Okay, I'll get us tickets to DJ Hodor. Meredith is a person I've known for some time. Jon has known her for 3 minutes because he is terrible at podcasting and does not know.
And we're already better friends, Jon and I, than we are.
We could have known each other for a lot longer had you introduced us sooner.
Okay, well, if you didn't live north of the wall, then mayhaps I would have done that.
So Meredith is on the show because she plays video games, and so I want to get the question that is on all of our minds off the table first. Then Meredith, how does it feel to be the only female ever that plays video games?
In the entire world.
In the entire world.
It feels good, when I go to conventions, it's a little bit lonely and overwhelming on Tinder, but I think
What?
Being the only person who plays video games is a huge honor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's impressive that we, in fact, booked you for this podcast.
Right.
Yes, being the only woman that does play video games. Also, women shouldn't play video games.
That's true. That's
a strong
true.
stance.
So anyway, you played a video game, and it's one that neither Cody or I will probably ever play. So
she plays many video games, and to be fair, she lent me one of the games in this series. I just didn't ever play it.
Ever.
And also, for the record, I didn't know you were a girl. So this is kind of a shock, because that makes you the only girl I've ever talked to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure really how to process that. But anyway, Jon, continue with your line of intense interrogation questioning.
Oh, I'm
on
done.
episode 100.
I said my piece. What I was saying was you played a game that, neither Cody and I will probably ever have played this game. I certainly.
3 games. 3 games, my friend. There are
That's-
3 installments of Dragon Age.
There are, and I have actually played the first 2. I just don't ever see myself being able to have set aside the time to play Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I say Cody and I will probably never play it. Cody will probably never play a Dragon Age game. He'll probably only ever play Hyrule Warriors ever again.
That's true.
But I played the first 2 Dragon Ages. I really enjoyed the first one. I was a little less hot on the second one, but I've heard some good things about Inquisition. So, first off, you played Dragon Age Inquisition. Have you played it through to completion?
I am 1 quest away from the final quest, or I am at the final quest, but I am doing all of the side quests right now because.
Is there an Inquisition?
I have an Inquisition, yes, and I am the Inquisitor, apparently.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense within the context of the game's name, then. That's
Correct.
a good thing. Okay.
Yes.
So tell us about this game.
It's very similar to the first Dragon Age, which makes it, Cody, I don't know what you're doing, which makes it, I'm going to turn my screen off of him. There we go, that's much better.
This Zelda is now mounted to my microphone.
Whatever that means.
It's the only mounting any women are going to be doing in this apartment anytime soon.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, it is like the first one where you choose your character, male or female. Unfortunately, no gender-neutral category, very disappointing. And then you choose your race, human, elf, or Kunari. And then you choose if you are a warrior, a mage, or a rogue. And I usually go with female warrior, just because I like swordplay and then equipping myself with 3 mages. And the game starts off, like I said, very similar to the first one.
Okay, so it is like the first Dragon Age. So listener, the Dragon Age games, the very first one, Dragon Age Origins, came out, I want to say in 2007, something like that, 2007, 2008. And it was a return to form for BioWare of being this turn-based role-playing game, much akin to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. They're probably the game that really put them on the map in terms of being a legit video game developer. And Dragon Age Origins was that, again, set in a fantasy setting, right? Like Dungeons and Dragons style.
Yep.
Lots of exploration, and BioWare kind of coined this system of dialogue. It was kind of they were kind of the real pioneers of these in-depth dialogue trees. And if you ever played Knights of the Old Republic, which was a very, very old BioWare role-playing game, one of the coolest things about it was that you really felt like you had some agency over the story as the player because of the conversations that you had with people. There were many branching dialogue trees that would allow you to recruit certain characters and maybe not recruit other characters, go to different areas and maybe not go to other areas. So it's kind of something that BioWare has been honing over the course of however many games they've made since then. Dragon Age 2, so Dragon Age 1 was this turn-based strategy game, and then Dragon Age 2 came along, and it was kind of this weird, it was kind of like an action game, almost.
It's the worst video game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, and so that's probably hyperbole, but it wasn't very good. I agree with you.
Well, she said it's the worst game she's ever played in her life, so for all we know, that's completely true.
That could
obviously
be.
Every Pokemon is awesome, so that's about my roster.
Okay, right on. So I guess I can't disagree with you then.
Right.
Dragon Age 2 was this weird. I mean, they had the same dialogue system and everything in there, but they didn't. Just the combat felt really shallow, and the game felt rushed, and it was just.
There was just no development. I think that's what was frustrating. You just went into every quest, and it was for absolutely no reason, I'm going to go do this or meet this person. It was just rushed.
Yeah, and for the most part, I think a lot of times people come to BioWare games to like they really come to immerse themselves in these worlds that this company creates because they create very immersive experiences. And a lot of times, they also did the Mass Effect series, and it's all about like creating your character and like taking on that character's persona, right? Like that's what it's all about. So I'm interested. You're saying that this one, that Dragon Age Inquisition, which we could effectively call Dragon Age 3, you're saying that it goes back to kind of the return to form of 1. I mean, is it also a turn-based thing?
It is. You can basically have your Inquisition be more evil or more good, and you're basically building up an army. In the first one and a little bit in the second one, but there really was no plot. It's all about like this fade, and in Inquisition you have this power in your hands to close these fade rifts that you used to go to a lot. Cody, I know I'm nerding out. Just deal with it. But you have this power in the third one, which basically makes everyone think you are a god. So obviously there's all of the people in the Chantry, which is like their religious sector.
It's like the mage school, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they can you could pick like which I guess forces side with you, but I'll be honest, when I was playing, I had like everyone side with me so I could have the biggest army. Because we're all battling someone named Corypheus, who I still don't really know why he's so powerful, nor do I care because they usually put a very large box that I'm supposed to read, but he looks really scary. So, and he has an archdemon of his own, so I guess that makes him my worst enemy.
Is the archdemon's name Bunavelza?
I don't think it's named, but that's very creative of you.
Could you call it Bunavelza?
If you'd like, I'll send you a screenshot of what it looks like after this, and you can tell me if that's legitimate.
I bet it looks like Bunavelza.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, I was having a seizure. What were we talking about?
But yeah, it's there's a lot to do. I believe I read there's 100 hours of the main quest and 150. No, wait, that's too many. I think there's a total of 150 hours, and like it's kind of split between the main quest and side quests.
So are you like the only person in the entire world that can seal these rifts? So you have to go like everywhere that there are.
Correct. Every
Okay.
land has like 6 rifts, and when you first start the game, you think it's like the hardest thing in every land, but now you just do them to get free stuff and level up pretty much.
Yeah, right on. Okay. What kind of so the other hallmark that I mentioned was like character development, and the first Dragon Age had some pretty memorable characters for sure. Does this one as well? I mean, is that kind of in there, and especially like Mass Effect too. Mass Effect was all about awesome characters. So
Yeah.
you have a couple of those here too?
I mean, I'll be honest, Alistar in Dragon Age 1 I'm still in love with. When I was in high school, I was definitely in love with him. They made like a fake second Alistar named Colin, who's supposed to be the commander of your army. He literally has the exact same plot where he has like a lyrium addiction and was a Templar and got like beaten as a child. Really creative BioWare, but
Sure.
I was fine with it. And then your Inquisition, you can recruit, I think it's like 7 or 8 people that you go find throughout the game pretty quickly. And you can have different relationships with all of them.
What do you mean relationships?
How did I know Cody was going to ask that? You can have love interests in the game, and they are all predetermined already in the sense that you could literally go to Wikipedia and read who is into what to develop the plot for what you are looking for as a gamer.
To bone them.
Correct.
To bone them.
Correct.
How do I bone them? Look in Wikipedia. Wikipedia knows.
So which is the most entertaining date you can take to the gold saucer? That's what we all really want to know.
I swear to God. Okay. Okay, so what are you doing in this game? Like, what's you start off and like you just find out that you have a power, And then it's like, all right, go seal these gates. Like that's lit, and then like along the way you find a bunch of other stuff that happens, like a bunch of side quests. That's where you find them.
It's kind of, I turned the game on. I literally got it the day it came out because I think I've been waiting like 6 years for the next Dragon Age, because let's not say that Dragon Age 2 existed.
Sure.
You turn the game on and you get dropped into this land, and you're like with this army fighting something, and someone important dies. So I will say that the beginning was a little bit like over dramatic, like you don't really know what's going on, but then soon you realize that the whole world is in turmoil, and that's when you kind of step up and create this Inquisition that starts as bare bones, and then as you kind of move along in the game, you get stronger and have an entire army under you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's pretty exhausting. It's a lot of responsibility.
Being the leader of an Inquisition, yes, I would imagine it would be.
Aren't you used to leading scores of Unsullied and things like that?
I thought I was dead.
Not yet. Probably. I don't know. I haven't finished book 5. To be continued.
No one's ever going to finish book 5. It's okay.
All right, this game from just the top level reminds me of Skyrim or an Elder Scrolls game. I don't know if you've played any of those. Have you?
It's very similar.
Is it? Okay, because I think running around in a giant because like Skyrim people have played for like 400 hours, right? Mm-hmm. Like that game just never ends. So is this more of a finite game, or is it also one of these just like, oh, I'm gonna make a character, get him to level like 10,000 so he's a god, one hit kill dragons, and then just like run around? I don't know. What's the difference?
I'm only at level 23, and apparently that's like really high for the game. So, or maybe I'm completely wrong and someone will totally chew me out after this podcast, but I don't think it's necessarily like leveling up in the sense like we would on Skyrim.
Yeah, I think Skyrim's kind of all about a lot of emergent gameplay, right? So like you're just like walking through a field and then something comes up and is like, hey, I need help doing this, and then you like go do that, or you find like a house on the side of a hill and you enter the house and you like find out that there was something that went on there. Like it's a lot more about like exploration and discovery. I think the Dragon Age game is Dragon Age games are kind of more, just in general, they're more scripted. So there are set things that you will be doing, and that once they're done and you can't do them again.
Right.
Whereas in like Skyrim, like there's, because of like apparently I think the system they created, there's like an infinite number of things that you can do in that game. So I think they're slightly different in that. Also, Skyrim's a first-person adventure, which is much different than Dragon Age being third person. Mm-hmm. I think just like fundamentally there's a big difference there.
Agreed.
So and Skyrim I think is like, BioWare's games are pretty serious, but there's an amount of like levity that happens in them too. I think Skyrim is like really self-serious, like really, really, really self-serious. At least from what I played of it. Because like BioWare's usually pretty good about putting a lot of humor in their games too.
Yeah, I think some of the characters are pretty hilarious. There's this one elf chick that literally is like completely crazy, but that's her charm. I think she's the most popular character. A lot of people like to have her on their team.
They'd probably like to bone her.
Yeah, I think she's into everything.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, they write humor into a lot of their games is kind of what I'm getting at, and I just don't think that Skyrim basically had like any. I don't think there was very much humor at all in that game. It's just I think it's a slightly lighter of a thing. Have you like enjoyed playing it? Like, are you having fun with it?
Yeah, I mean, and it's definitely one of those games where like I do a bigger quest and then I'm able to kind of take a break. There's a lot of things you can do where you can get perks and items if you send, because within your Inquisition there's 3 main people. There's the commander, there's Liliana who does secrets, and I forget the other chick. who's like your God, I'm so bad at politics, but they're like the person that deals with all of the high up people and whatever.
I think that would be the President of the United States of America.
They're not the president. It's like
the Prime Minister.
Kind of like that.
The Duchy.
The Duchy. Let's call it the Duchy.
Okay.
And she will go, and all three of them you can send out on missions that might be like a 15-minute thing that literally takes 15 minutes, or it's like a 6 to 12-hour task where nothing happens, but if you log back into the game, say the next day, like something will be done and a quest will be unlocked. So I think that's something different that they tried, that it kind of was one of those things that I was like, oh crap, gotta remember to like have them do stuff so the game will progress.
So are we talking almost like a Farmville type thing?
Yeah,
like,
totally. Yes.
So you set people off on like a quest and then come back in 6 hours of real time and you've got like a bonus or something.
Exactly. It was. Okay. I mean, that was like really hard for me to kind of fathom at first because I wasn't one of those Farmville addicts. So.
Oh, you know, there's a lot of games that are implementing that kind of thing in their games though now.
Yeah.
Like like even Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is the first one that I can remember where it was like a big AAA title that put that mechanic in there because you could do that. You could do that in that, and then they've like had that in every single Assassin's Creed since.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sounds cool. It sounds like Dragon Age Origins again, which I've played through Dragon Age Origins like 3 times.
Me too.
Because of how much I liked it.
It's so good, and unfortunately there are things I think about that one that really, like, because BioWare spent so much time making that game, it's this like breakthrough. There are so many things that will always make that game the best one, but I do think that this third one, they've done a really good job, and it's been really fun to play.
Yeah, they're probably, they've just been like trying to refine the formula, and I think they just kind of caught lightning in a bottle there, and I don't think they realized just how good of a game that they made when they made it.
Totally.
So.
I'm still here, by the way.
I don't think we need you.
Probably not.
Okay, so did your camera literally just die for no reason?
Yep, it did.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It did. That is what happened.
I saw it like going in and out for a while. I thought you were doing that on purpose.
No. Oh no.
Excellent.
No, this is the. Actually, I'd like to play a. I'd like to.
Is this where we start over?
No. Things are fine. They may even be better without my actual. Well, even though you can see my face now.
No, your hair was terrible, and actually, you can't see your face now.
I can't see you. It's very nice.
Oh no, it's good. So I was sent. We're a member of the Gonna Geek Network, and podcast network / geeky stuff network. Stargate Pioneer is the name of a podcaster with the Gonna Geek Network, and he's on a couple different podcasts, including Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. And this is relevant because they wished us well wishes on our 100th episode. So they were like, "Hey guys, congrats on 100 episodes. Like good luck with a great episode or whatever." And he sent me a clip of what they said, and I just want you to hear this.
And just a reminder again, Unqualified Gamers is on their 100th episode, so go ahead, give them a shout-out on Twitter, go to their webpage. They have different places at unqualifiedgamers.com or the Gonna Geek webpage at gonnageek.com and hit them up there. It would be awesome.
So 100 podcasts, isn't that usually the mark for when it's time to have catastrophic equipment failures?
Yeah, I think.
Congratulations, guys.
Good luck.
Yeah, so that happened.
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
So I don't know whose fault this is, but I need to get a new webcam. Oh God, I'm done. It doesn't matter. So anyway, the audio listener. It doesn't matter to the audio listener anyway because they can't see us anyway. So that's fine. and wonderful. What is your favorite thing about this game?
My favorite thing. I think it's been nice that there's so much to do, and that it's not like lame stuff. Everything I've done has been pretty cool, and I'll always get like an item that's worth it, or it's always just like perfect timing. So I think it's really thought out well. And like I said, I think I had been waiting for it so long after the first one that I had high hopes that it would entertain me, and it definitely has.
That's true. You definitely hated the second one.
Oh, man.
The only problem I see, or potential problem I see with this game, is John and I talk a lot about how these days we like games you can kind of hop in and out of, like 10 or 20-minute play sessions.
Which was kind of the whole reason why I said you and I would probably never be able to play this game.
Oh, sure. And I did have to take my headphones off to try to fix my webcam at some point, so I missed like a minute of this conversation. And also wasn't.
We were talking about you.
Right, and I wasn't. I mean, I kind of was tuning both of you out the rest of the time just by default. So, that's just how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. But it sounds like, so if you're like activating things or whatever, can't you occasionally like? Isn't it the kind of thing where you can pop in and just like run into a castle and like, I don't know, de-pants some guy and then activate it or whatever, and then resurrect the 7 Dragon Balls, and then like you're good, and it's like a half hour, and you're good to go, and then you can go.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's actually one of the perks. I drop in and out all the time, whether it's like a super long day of playing or like literally 20 minutes where I just do the Farmville thing and I don't know, something very small. I think that's something that they tried to do so you don't have to get completely sucked in every time you log into the game.
Yeah, do you think that's like they did a better job than the original Dragon Age? Because now that America is becoming mobile and modernized and whatever the hell, all the buzzwords and things.
The original Dragon Age was not drop in and drop out at all. Like,
no, it wasn't.
You had to like sit down and commit a significant chunk of time to basically get anything done.
Yeah, it's very true. I don't know why that's different in this one. But like I said, they've added so many team members that you can now choose from. It's not like you're traveling with the same group anymore, and it's not like you're worrying about this humongous plot line. Everything is very siloed, and you have the control to pop in and out of lands you've discovered and kind of do stuff you want if you get tired of the main quest. So
that is totally awesome.
I thought that was actually really nice because, I don't know, sometimes things happen and you have to close up a game and it's like you have to start all over again.
Right. How would you rate the ethics in the games journalism in this game?
Do I start with rating your journalism first or the game only?
Let's skip that question, actually. I think John had a question.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing to add to that particular conversation.
Okay. Well, here we are. Great. Wonderful. And on a final question, what do you think of the new look of Frieza?
You realize, Cody, that your questions literally added nothing to this conversation about this video game.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you do anything in this podcast?
No, he doesn't. That's what I've been saying for 103 episodes.
It looks like you need a new host.
Yes, I know. I've been saying that for like 102 episodes.
I mean, you're welcome back. We have to invite you back because it looks like you're trapped in an alternate dimension that is just a white box. And I think you're trapped somewhere. I think you're like trapped in like the glass 2-dimensional prison that all of Kal-El's fellow Kryptonians got trapped in at the end of Superman 2. And I'm talking General Zod and all, they were. Okay, so overall, we always do a rating system on this podcast. We rate every single game from 1 to 16 bits. How many bits would you give Dragon Age Inquisition Origins to?
Keep in mind this is out of 16 bits.
Yeah.
And this is also number 3, Cody.
Right, that's what I said.
You've been paying attention to
I eventually said 3. I said 2, 3.
I mean, that means that it's got to have at least 3 bits.
right?
So I mean, it's already got a leg up.
So I'm supposed to rate it?
Yeah.
You're the one that played it. I could rate it. I rate it 15 based on what I've heard.
Oh my god.
It gets docked 1 point because I still don't know what you think about Frieza.
There can never be too many Friezas. Let's just start there. I would give it a 13.
13, not 16.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really liked it, but I have many moments where my game glitches out on me. I don't know if it's because it's the PS4 version. No disrespect to PlayStation, but it literally glitches out all the time, especially when you're saving, and then you just have like the Apple, no disrespect to Apple, the Apple wheel of death, and then I lose my game. So I knock it off a few points.
Wow, that's not good.
And
No.
one of my favorite characters that I had a crush on, not compatible with women. It was a big bummer.
Ugh.
I know. It was like,
Could you play as a man? Could you replay the game as a man?
I mean,
And
that's kind of like the point of these BioWare games is to kind of play as the hero you want to play as, you know?
yeah, but I've already invested like 84 hours, so I think I need to break up with this game and head on to Hyrule Warriors next.
oh my god, yes.
What a segue.
It. You just assume I'm going to talk about Hyrule Warriors next?
I did. Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah,
I probably
we
was
both
going to.
kind of picked up on that.
That's exciting. Well, thanks for joining us to talk about Dragon Age. You're welcome to stick around while we talk about Hyrule Warriors for a minute, or I don't know what kind of a hurry you're in.
Or you could do literally anything else that would probably be more fun for you, to be perfectly honest.
I don't know. I don't
All
know.
right, if you got a minute, we'll keep you against your will.
Excellent.
So Hyrule Warriors.
You've continued to play this game, is what you're saying.
Yes, John. Okay. So I've been teasing for like 3 weeks now that I was going to make a video for our YouTube channel, right? The video is made. It's in some Windows Z version. It's in CyberLink Power Director. Is this program I got? It's like a Windows
I don't know
version.
what that is.
It's a Windows version of Final Cut. It's actually really pretty nice. Usually Windows video editing software is stupid and it's like, well, just get a Mac and give in. But it's kind of a cool program. But anyway, so I finished editing like the video. All I have to do is add music and publish it. So I have like maybe 15 or 20 minutes of work to do to get it online.
Yep.
And I am so obsessed with Hyrule Warriors that I won't even take a break to post this video. So like I can't even promise that it's going to be up this week because I'm completely obsessed with Hyrule Warriors.
A game that I will still maintain is more fun than it is good.
Meredith, John insists that Hyrule Warriors is a very fun game, but it is not a good game. Which I disagree with. I don't know, man. It's real deep, and there's a bunch of new modes coming out.
It's not, though. It's not real deep.
Okay, well, all right. You unlock a lot of stuff.
Yes, you do, and that is a thing that happens, and that's awesome when you unlock stuff. It's not a complicated game at all. There's 2 buttons.
It doesn't need to be. All I wanted to say about it is that I'm completely obsessed with it, and it was interesting to me because our good friend Jamie Butterworth, it was his game of the year, and when I initially reviewed this game, I was like, the campaign levels are really long. They're like 45 minutes-ish, and I can sit down and play 1 or 2, but then I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. And Jamie said, wait till adventure mode, that's where the real game is. Then when I started playing adventure mode, he was completely right, and I just got completely hooked because some maps are 5 minutes and some are 15 minutes. Now you are following in the footsteps. You told me specifically, you're like, I only want to play 1 or 2 levels at once, and then you're kind of over it, which is exactly how I felt, and you haven't really done much with adventure mode. And I'm interested to see, like, when you beat the game, I know you're not probably going to, like, have a burning desire to continue playing, but I just want to see what happens if you play a couple adventure mode levels and just see what happens.
I will
See-
100% try adventure mode when I'm done with the campaign. 100%.
Sure.
But regardless of, like, I've played Dynasty Warriors games before. I know that there are no like fundamental differences to the gameplay. Like they might introduce like a new rule to the battlefield or something, but it's not going to like change the interaction with enemies.
But I haven't seen you play a Dynasty Warriors game. Right? So like I've never been in the room with you when you played a Dynasty Warriors game.
I have no idea what you're saying.
So I'm saying that you haven't like you think you have played a Dynasty Warriors game, but I can neither confirm nor deny that.
So I'm supposed to prove it?
So let's say I'm a nihilist, right? That means I don't believe that you exist or that Dynasty Warriors exists until I see you play it. Physically. It's like quantum physics, right? Or like Schrodinger's box. Have you read what's it called? The play, The Tempest? No, the Crucible. No, oh my God, what's it called? The one about Fermat's last theorem. You know what? I lost it. Meredith, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, completely following around.
See, thank you. Okay, great. All right, what I'm saying is, John. Okay, all right. Listen, the mini bosses are really easy, right? You can kill a Poe very easily. You just dodge and like attack, okay, or like a Skeletor or whatever they're called, Stalfos rather, right? They're really easy. But in adventure mode, sometimes you'll be fighting like Lana or some other like main character,
and then you'll dodge, and then you'll attack her.
No, because there are literally 6 Poes on the screen with a horde of enemies and the main character you're fighting. And it's like you're just basically trying to move and not die, and then occasionally get in a really cool attack. It just gets better. It gets better. That's all I have to say. You are right. No, fundamentally the gameplay does not change, but I would say...
I am not having a bad time with the game. If I was, I would not continue to play it. I recognize that it is a fun game. I also recognize that it is not a good game, and I'm trying to explain to you how that is possible. Because it is possible, and it is in fact true with this game, and that is okay. Like, games like this need to exist. They do. There is a place for them. There is.
All right, we agree to disagree. That's fine. That's fine.
Those are good airplane games.
Oh God, yeah, I wish it was on DS so badly.
There you go. It is a game where you can literally just turn your brain off and mash some buttons, and you can be successful at it, and that can be fun.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well,
we literally had this discussion last week.
Okay,
so
well, we're not going to have it again. So anyway, that's all I've done with my free time. And Will, what have you played? Do you have an update or a thing?
So I played more Hyrule Warriors, like we just talked about. I just got the Master Sword, and it made me kill stuff even faster because that was something I needed to be able to do. Because I wasn't killing stuff fast enough. Like I was only getting up to like 2,200 kills on a level. Now I get like to 2,600 kills. So I'm way better. I'm way better now. God, I fucking hate that game. But I'm going to keep playing it because I'm having fun with it.
And science.
And science for whatever reason. So yeah, and you know, I will talk about this next week because I have a lot to say about it. But I got invited to the Heroes of the Storm closed beta, which is Blizzard's answer to League of Legends and Dota. And I started to fool around with that, and it is very different from those two games. And so I'll have a lot to say about that next time.
Well, all right.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, it does.
I have a deep, deep, deep passion for League of Legends. And it's a game that like I can't play much at all anymore because I just don't have the time. Mm-hmm. But when I did play that game, I played that game a lot. So I'm kind of like looking for experiences like that I may have the chance to play. And Heroes of the Storm might actually fill that niche because the game's in League of Legends, games can last from start to finish like an hour between picking your champions and then going into the actual game and playing it. It can take like an hour. But Heroes of the Storm takes, on average, it seems about 15 to 25 minutes.
Uh-oh.
So it's a much smaller, shorter experience.
Is this going to be your new Hearthstone?
Maybe. I hope so. I'll talk about it next week.
All right, that works. There's one other thing I did that I should probably mention that's kind of like a very, very cool video game
related thing. Yeah, you should probably talk about that.
I should did you even remember that I did this?
You did the Itty Bitty Bash.
Oh, okay. Okay, you did then. Okay, so listener, last summer I went to an event called Bit Bash, and it was a bunch of indie games, basically in the Threadless t-shirt warehouse, like Threadless headquarters, opened up to all these indie developers, and I got to play a bunch of games. I got to test the Oculus Rift for the first time. It was pretty cool, or whatever. So the Bit Bash crew put together an event called Itty Bitty Bash. They only had 8 games at this, and it was in a bar in downtown Chicago. And I played 6 of those 8 games. I actually took video on my phone, so it's crappy quality or whatever, but that's fine. I took video of these games, and I'm going to be posting miniature reviews of them on our YouTube channel as soon as I can tear myself away from Hyrule Warriors for 3 minutes. So don't get your hopes up for me to review them particularly soon. But I played a weird game with that's up to 11 or 13 players. This crazy game called A Fistful of Gun.
That's an awesome name.
Right?
It's got a pretty good name.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So feel free to Google that if you want, to learn about that. I played an 8-player game. It was 4v4, called Worm Ball, like worms, and it was this interesting game where you just play as worms that kind of twirl around a ball. That was kind of interesting. What was cool about this Itty Bitty Bash was that all the games were 8 players or more, except one of them was 2 players, but the majority were 8 or more players, and that included a lot of 4-on-4 multiplayer, which is super cool because they're really good party games, and some of them, even with just up to 4 players, were amazing local multiplayer games. It was crazy because the world is not all about local multiplayer anymore unless you're Nintendo. No one really focuses on that, but these were indie games that really focus on good local multiplayer experiences, and that was really cool. So Wormball is worth checking out, and A Fistful of Gun are worth checking out. There was another game called Extreme Exorcism. That was kind of like just a simple 2D platformer fighting game, basically. There was a game called Lethal League, which was just a 4-player fighting game.
I've heard of that game.
Really?
Yeah.
By Team Reptile. And you play as these monsters or whatever, but you don't actually damage each other. You spike basically a volleyball at each other to do damage. And there's this high-velocity volleyball that you have to hit at each other, and if it hits you, you die. So it's got an interesting game mechanic, and it was pretty fun for a couple runs. And it's 4-player, but it's the size of a Street Fighter stage, so you're kind of close together. That was really fun. So I'm looking forward to talking about Lethal League. And then there was this weird 2-player game called Slam City Oracles, and you just blow stuff up basically. It's a weird game that I can't even really describe, so you'll have to watch my video review. The one game I want to mention in actual detail slightly on this podcast that I will definitely post a video of is called Speedrunners by Double Dutch Games. And this was, to me, easily the most fun game of Itty Bitty Bash. And Speedrunners is, there's 4 of you, and it's a side-scrolling platformer. And you have to run as fast as you can, basically. The camera does pan out a little bit, like in Smash Brothers, but if the person in front gets far enough of the person in back, then the person in back essentially dies. So the idea is you're running through this speedrunning course, and you just want to get as far in front as possible, but it loops around like a track. So you'll run to the left at the start of the stage, then you drop down, run to the right for a while, and then you go back up and then go to the left. So there's a little bit of verticality to it as well. And it was so fun. My friend Blake and I went, and we were playing, and he was just like, yeah, like really gives you an adrenaline rush because you're trying to get ahead of everybody. There's a couple power-ups you can get along the way, and it was just like the coolest local multiplayer experience I've had in a long time. So so look up speedrunners if you can. I will be posting by Double Dutch Games. I'll be posting a video to our YouTube channel at some point. I'll probably do that one. Hopefully do that one first because it's my favorite one of the event. But it was super cool. So like yeah, local multiplayer for the win. Now I need our friends. And hey Meredith, Hyrule Warriors has a 2-player co-op. Did I mention that?
Oh, I'm busy every day.
Dude, she's a girl. She's got to wash her hair.
Oh my God, that's right.
Right.
I wash my hair every day. You never compliment me, John.
You're right. That's your hair looks like shit. I've told you that every single time we record.
All right. Listen, Meredith, you saw my hair yesterday. Scale of 1 to 16.
Bits.
No, I don't like grown-up Cody. I like Vegeta hair Cody.
Oh, you liked when I went Super Saiyan all the time?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. But I can't do that until I know what you think of the new Frieza. Have you not seen the new Frieza? John, tell me you've seen the new Frieza.
I didn't know there was a new Frieza.
Yeah,
He's
I
gold.
feel like, did this happen like today? I literally was just watching YouTube episodes of a bridge.
I mean, did the internet blow up like Kim Kardashian? Like, what are we talking about
yeah,
here?
seriously.
It was not trending on Twitter.
It was trending on Facebook.
Cody, you hate Facebook, and for the record, I just tagged us in doing this post, and your mom liked it immediately, Cody.
Yay!
Who the hell looks at Facebook trends?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to look right now.
Yeah.
Frieza.
I have to be on Facebook. I work in social media. And on the right it says trending, and I click there's a new Dragon Ball Z movie coming out, and they released a trailer. But
No.
yes,
No,
there is.
The proper response, though.
They're making a new Dragon Ball Z movie, and they're bringing back Frieza with the Dragon Balls, and his new form is gold and shiny.
No, not the gold dress thing.
No, he looks like the Oscars.
No, thanks for ruining my life once again.
Well, all right, okay, all right. Well, I'll work on Dragon Ball Z-ing my hair, and just forget about Frieza. Forget about Frieza.
I can't find this trailer.
Okay, I'll send it. I'll ping it to you.
He is gold.
Right? See?
Wow.
Breaking news on Unqualified Gamers: the new Frieza is gold.
That just came in my headphones. I'm glad no one heard that. That was really loud.
Whoops. Well, hey. Well, that was
playing
kind of
really well for the audio listeners, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely always plays well to the audio listeners.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was very cool video game news, and I guess before we wrap up, because real life is a thing that happens sometimes too, congratulations, John, on keeping a human being alive for 365 days.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing that happened this weekend. We had my son's first birthday party, and we expected, we invited 35 people, and we expected, there to not be 35 people there, and there were 35 people there. So it was really busy, incredibly busy, but it was really fun. And my son got so tired that he fell asleep on the back of a truck while we were, driving it around. He was out. So it was fun. It was a really good time.
Well, happy birthday to Max.
I'll let him know he doesn't like you, though.
Well,
good taste. Good taste.
Obviously, God, I know that. Has anything exciting happened in your life recently, Meredith?
Cody and I had lunch at Corner Bakery yesterday.
That was exciting. It was really exciting because I
am going to say this one, Cody. I definitely am still confused at Corner Bakery and Cody because they had a truffle hot chocolate, which makes absolutely no sense.
Like a mushroom hot chocolate?
That's what I said, and Cody got one, of course.
I got a truffle mocha, and it tasted like I was eating shrooms at work.
That doesn't...
I don't actually know what that would taste like, but I did get the truffle mocha, and it was real good. So there's that. All right. Well, we'll wrap up, but
Because I don't really want to know what you did.
good. I didn't do anything. So listen, check out unqualifiedgamers.com for all our episodes, and you can. There's a how to listen little tab thing that'll tell you how to subscribe and all that if you want to listen to stuff. And please check us out on YouTube if you'd like to see Jon and Meredith, and not me because my webcam broke halfway into this because garbage. Thank you, Microsoft LifeCam. I hate you. If you are listening and you work for a company that uses webcams or sells them or manufactures them, I would love for you to send me it, and I will review it, and I will definitely give it very positive reviews as long as it doesn't break in the middle of an episode that I'm doing. So there's that. And on a final note, a final promotional note, get ready for this. We at Unqualified well, kind of. Jon and I are debuting a new. We're exploring a new project this week. We are going to shoot a pilot episode of a non-video game related series, and we're going to record it Thursday, so keep an eye on our YouTube channel. It may end up there. This will not be an audio podcast format, so the only place you'll be able to find this new venture is on our YouTube channel. So keep an eye on it. If it really sucks, we probably won't even post it, but I doubt that it will. So, yeah, the big tease, Thursday, March 5th, 2015, Jon and I are going to do a thing, and it'll be interesting, and I don't want to give too much away, but check that out. Check out our YouTube channel this weekend, and maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. I should get a new webcam before that. There's a thought.
You should probably do that. We're probably going to need you to be able to be seen. Meredith, thank you for joining us. I apologize for Cody. And
Jon, I can't even hear you. Your microphone is up.
I do that for... I was saying, Meredith, thank you for joining us. I apologize for Cody, and I do that for all of our guests.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Meredith, you're awesome. You're welcome back anytime. Jon, I'm not so sure about.
You're stuck with me, bud.
Am I?
Yep.
Why? Why? Why?
Because it's our show. You're stuck with me.
Why?
I can't end the show. I can't end it.
Why? Looks like you're stuck with me, Kakarot.